Why do you want to be a business owner? Your U 2.0 blueprint. I'm going to share a link to a workbook that may be helpful to you as you consider the question about what you want. So the starting point of your journey towards self-sufficiency is working on the blueprint, which is this workbook. Creating your own success story begins with shifting your paradigm so you can start to see yourself and your aspirations as the greatest proactive tool in your arsenal. Such a shift creates a multiplier effect, which allows you to get significantly greater results with less time, energy, and effort. I'm also going to share an article called the Layoff Article, and it's the Reduction of Anxiety article. And I think that'll be a nice resource for you to think about. So, why do you want to be a business owner? So the question first to ask is, who are you? Are you an inventor? Are you a maverick? Are you a visionary? When you think about employers, who comes to mind? Most people instantly think of today's entrepreneurs, that genius inventor or that bold maverick, that visionary who risked it all to change the world. They are the leaders of our big and famous companies. Yes, indeed, they are employers. Is that you? Is that who you are or who you want to be? I know for me personally, I did not identify with being like them or even having the potential to be like them. I am not an inventor, the maverick, or the grand visionary. Therefore, the longest time, I made it mean that entrepreneurship and business ownership were out of my reach. I did not think it was truly something I could participate. I had limiting beliefs. But boy, am I glad that I was wrong, because it turns out that is only the fraction of the story. Today, we will explore how anyone, including you, can make the leap from employee to employer. Investor for inventor, Main Street for maverick, implementor for visionary. It's not just the inventor, but the investor who wants to create a portfolio lifestyle. It's not just the maverick and the Main Street business owner you pass by every day, whether it is a tutoring service, the senior care service, the lawn and cleaning services, you name it. It's not just the visionary, but the implementor who activates an established and proven business model. They are all employers, entrepreneurs, and business owners. And by the way, the photos that you see on the screen are real live people, a few of whom I've had the great privilege to chat with and find out what it took for them to make the transition from employee to entrepreneur. So a few stats. So who is an employer? Well, let's start with 99% of all businesses are small. Most have few employees, but they account for almost half of the entire private sector employees. And from 1995 to 2021, they created 17.3 million jobs, new jobs. Small businesses in the US employ over 61 million Americans, and that is 60% of all jobs created since 1995. And small businesses accounted for over 65% of net new jobs. So does that challenge your assumption? Let's keep going. So why do you want to be a business owner? The state of the workplace. Gallup survey shows 18% people quitting loud, 59% people quietly quitting, and only 23% are engaged at work. So the question is what to do in a post-career world, having a workquake, seismic shakeups in the workplace. 70% are unhappy at work. 75% plan to look for a new career this year. That's 100 million people out of 160 potential in the workplace. It suggests that it's not a time to climb, it's a time to dig, meaning what do I want to do at this time in my life? Conduct a personal archaeology, treasure hunt of your true life story. Make the decision to be true to yourself and what do you need in this moment of your life? Follow your passion is pretty bad career advice. 9 out of 10 people don't follow passion because your circumstances change or the world changes. What you needed 10 years ago may not be the same as what you need today or what your parents wanted. Instead, find meaning in your job. Big transition and it's not going back. Rebalancing of power between the worker and the workforce. Why do people become employers? Why do they become business owners? According to Guidant Financial, only 28% of those who made the leap into business ownership, are what we call ready, willing, and able. These are the folks who were ready and wanted to be their own boss. They were not meant to be employees. But for the majority of people, 72% or so, the reasons for transitioning include dissatisfaction with corporate America, not ready to retire, being laid off, right size, capsized, call it whatever you want. Bottom line, they're looking beyond corporate America. They're looking beyond being an employee since they want to be self-sufficient and in charge of their own destiny. Recall the polling questions we asked at the very beginning. Most of those responses resonate with this statement that I just made. Maybe people are tired of working so hard on someone else's dream. If you're curious about those who made the leap, think and say. According to results from FreshBook and Research Now's, 97% of self-sufficient professionals say they would never go back to traditional employment. For many, it's their new lifestyle that they don't want to give up. So it's not always just about the money. They're finally happy in their careers. So look at the chart. 97% wanted the freedom to choose when to work. 48% said they want the autonomy to manage their own career. 48% said they want the freedom to choose where to work. And finally, 31% said they simply do not want to report to others. If we look even closer, though, the common theme is freedom. Freedom over when to work, freedom over where to work, and freedom over how to work. So Robert Kiyosaki, known for the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant, helps define and challenge employee mindset. He says most people are encouraged to go to school, get a job, trade time and talent for a steady paycheck, maybe some benefits like healthcare and a retirement account. Seems secure, doesn't it? But when you have someone else take all the risk, worrying about profit, managing investments, and taking ownership of the outcomes, what are you giving up by staying in the employee quadrant? Are you able to attain self-sufficiency and financial freedom as an employee? Or will you always be trading your time for money? So it's tempting to still believe in the cradle to grave US American dream. The legacy thinking of go to school, get a job, and retire might have been true for your parents or grandparents. But fast forward to today's world, you are more likely to have multiple careers and an unwelcome career break. Does any of this challenge your assumptions or confirm what you already knew? That the traditional W-2 employee does carry risk. Your career vision, your paycheck, your healthcare, and retirement accounts are all determined by an employer. So if cradle to grave employment is less likely, well, how are you going to achieve your income, lifestyle, wealth, and equity goals? So you see in the chart, the 20th century life cycle and the 21st century life cycle. I think this graphic is extremely powerful. So I like this quote from Warren Buffett. If you think being an entrepreneur is risky, try working for someone else for 40 years and living off Social Security.